ESPN Baton Rouge.
What the hell's going on out here?
Now, here's Jimmy Ott and Charles Hannegriff.
Yeah, for some reason or another, you sound a little taller on radio.
Is it live? Is it live? Is it live?
From the beautiful Bally's Sportsbook in downtown Baton Rouge, welcome to the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Hannegriff, Jimmy Ott, Max Gotro, Jordan Kitchen's back in the studio. Kuchi and Humans out in Vegas, and conference tournament basketball going on right now. The MAC Championship quarterfinals are on right now. Miami of Ohio, the only undefeated team left in the country, with a 2-point lead over UMass at halftime. The A-10 is going right now with GW and Fordham. Will Wade and NC State tipping off here right as we speak against number 10 Virginia. Rick Pitino and the Johnnies going at 11 o'clock. Ohio State and Iowa going at 11 o'clock. And wall-to-wall basketball all the way deep into the night. So if you're a hoops junkie, this is your time of year. Jimmy, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How was your day yesterday? Autolock certainly had a nice
good
day,
yeah.
and
good day.
had a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff going on.
I did get it handed to me on the side and total for the Southland Championship, and I think that Bill Armstrong will be the first to tell you. I mean, McNeese State played so much better than they have all season long. Take their best game of the year, and I mean, compared to the 10 they played yesterday, the best game, the second best would be like a 6. I mean, they were they saved it for the right time. Keep in mind, Stephen F. Austin won the regular season championship. They swept, or no, did they split?
They were 20-2, and McNeese was 19-3, counting the tournament games going in.
I think they split home and away, but I mean, this was supposed to be just a real war. I mean, low scoring, kind of trudging.
They did split.
It was. God, they played really well. Man, look, Larry Johnson's a freshman, and he's really emerging as a scorer, man, as a guy that's just really filling it up, doing a lot of different things. You know, their style, Will Wade's 2 years, and Armstrong, taking it over from Will. You know, they're going to beat you up. You know, then they're going to bully ball you. They're going to, they're athlete, physical, but sometimes their skill level can be. It could be a little bit rough, on the offensive end. This kid Johnson, man, lifts him to another level. That was impressive. I mean, they Stephen F. Austin just doesn't get beat like that. They just don't, man. And it was unreal.
3 straight years for the Cowboys in the NCAA tournament now, and with a win last year.
Oh, we're well aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those that weren't, I thought I would bring it up.
One trip prior in their history, or two?
Two. 89 and 2002 were the other 9.
Did get a favorable hand, and one of the reasons that Will accepted the job when the hurricane destroyed the campus and a lot of their facilities, they built that one from scratch. And to kind of reward them, they gave, I think it's 4 years, win, lose, or draw, no matter what it is, McNeese State will host the Southland basketball tournament. So, doesn't matter seeding because, now they won the regular season the last 2 years, but this year they did not. And still host it, and they're going to host again next year.
So, with what happened yesterday, and LSU finished this season, 87-82 against Kentucky. So they finished at 15-17. Overall, they finished at 3-15 in the SEC. They lose their first game in the conference tournament. It was by every metric that you can put out there a disaster of a season, and it has been a terrible – I'm sorry, I can't use any other words. It's been a terrible go for Matt McMahon in his 4 years. I may not cover any new ground here. When we give you a synopsis, I said I was going to do this earlier in the week. This is where you are. For those that are still, on the fence, and we've heard more that were on the fence than I thought, because I didn't think anybody was on the fence. Those that were still on the fence, about Matt McMahon and his future at LSU were there largely because of, altogether now, he's a nice guy, and he is a nice guy, and he conducted himself with perfect class in the press conference, both after the last game of the regular season, after the tournament. I got no problem with any of that, and he said, I will accept whatever is handed down. And the guy couldn't have been more classy. If this guy was my next-door neighbor, I'd want him to live there forever. Unfortunately, we're talking about basketball. And 17-55 in conference play with 236 winning percentage and 60-70 overall is among the worst since the Southeastern Conference expanded to 12 teams back in 1992. It's not quite the worst, but it's really close. Tom Crane was the only one I could find that was worse in a 4-year period since the expansion of the league at 15-57. He was 2 games better than that. Everybody else, including Lamont Paris, who's going to keep his job at South Carolina, 23-49, was better. I'm going to go through the reasons that we have been given by not just fans, but by media and some people that we know are basketball people that want to see him get another opportunity, whatever. The non-conference schedule, which was 12-1. We've now got some final numbers on that. The non-conference strength of schedule was 292 out of 363. 9 of the 13 teams they played had a losing record. The top home team that they played in the net rankings was 193. They weren't the only team to have in the SEC to have a lousy non-conference record. Mississippi State did. Oklahoma did. Missouri did. Texas A&M did. Texas A&M's going to the tournament. But at the end of the year, they beat 3 teams with a winning record. SMU, Missouri, and Southern Miss actually rallied with 3 wins in the Sun Belt tournament to finish at 17-16. DePaul lost last night. That non-conference schedule was simply not competitive. It wasn't anything that would draw anybody to go into the Assembly Center to watch. It wasn't a level of competition that got you ready for conference play. You basically played 2 games and you split them. I'll give them credit. They played their best game of the season against SMU down at the Smoothie King. They had a really good night, but that was it. And you got to do better than one game. The next thing, the injuries. Let's get to this because I think De'Don Thomas is a nice player and would have helped him. But when you got to his recruitment last year, and our friend Matt Humans, who covered him at UNLV, says, I don't know if he makes you take the next step. And I remember exactly what I said. I said, Matt, the next step is 13th place. Well, they didn't get to 13th place. De'Don Thomas played 5 games that were what we would consider against competition. The SMU game, the Texas Tech game non-conference, and the 3 games in Southeastern Conference play before he got hurt. LSU was 1-4 in those games. He shot 36% from the floor in those games. He shot 29% from 3 in those games. He had 25 assists and 8 turnovers. Those are good numbers, but 12 of those assists came in one of the games. Jalen Reed, who is, by all accounts, a great kid, great attitude, has had some terrible injury luck and has missed basically most all of 2 seasons, would have helped them. There's no question. But the longer, it's kind of like the old Bobby Knight thing. You know, how you get better is you disappear, okay? He always talked about, well, if we had this guy, to motivate his own players. Jalen Reed is a nice player. But Jalen Reed played 73 games over the course of 4 years for LSU and averaged 6.3 points and 3.9 rebounds a game. Would he have helped him? Yes. Was he coming off an injury? Yes. Would he have gotten better? I certainly hope so. But let's quit acting like this kid was Nikola Jokic. If Thomas and Reed play, would they have been better? Yes. I think now you got to get into opinion here. My opinion is their ceiling with those 2 the entire season would have been ceiling. Absolute everything goes right would have been 500 in the league. And I think they would have probably finished. And I think, well, if they won 3, would these guys have won 6 more? Probably not. They would have probably won. No. I think they would have finished 6-12, which is kind of where we picked them at the beginning of the season. Let's talk about money for a second, okay? LSU's budget, multiple sources told. Jimmy had this number weeks ago. The Oklahoma Insider people had it this week, somewhere a little north of $9 million. That puts them somewhere in the middle of the league. as best we can say. Nobody's got exact numbers on this. We know it's not first, and we know it's not last. Was it 5th? Was it 9th? Was it 12th? Who can say? But it wasn't 16th, and that's where they finished. Would everybody like them to take a bigger splash into investing in basketball? Of course, but that's maybe not realistic. They're never going to spend what Kentucky spends. We don't expect them to. But they didn't spend what South Carolina spent either. They spent more than that. Do they need to spend more money? Yeah, it'd be nice, but I understand what's going on in the department. They had enough money to do way better than they did. Let's talk about the cost, okay? Because this one's really aggravated me a little bit over the last few weeks. The cost to buy out Matt McMahon and his staff is $10.8 million, okay? That number's in stone. Is that $10.8 million tomorrow? It is not. It is spread out over 3 years, okay? Is it going to stay at that number? Probably not, because Matt McMahon's 47 years old. You suspect that he will coach again. Maybe he sits out a year. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's an assistant somewhere. Maybe he's a head coach somewhere. But he and everybody on the staff are going to coach again. There's going to be some offsets. And that's your sunk cost. That's your dead cost. The rest of these costs that I keep hearing about, well, then they got to hire a new coach. You got to have a coach next year anyway, okay? You got to have – well, then they got to fund the player budget. You got to do that next year anyway. The basketball costs don't go away if you keep Matt McMahon. You can choose to spend as little as possible. You can choose to be in the cellar, but you're not abolishing the basketball program. All of the basketball costs do not go away if you keep Matt McMahon. The sunk costs go away. The dead money, if you want to call it that, that goes away. It's somewhere between 10.8 and whatever the offsets might be. So that's this. We all wish Matt McMahon would have done better here. He would have been very easy to root for if they had done better. But he didn't recruit well. He didn't promote well. He didn't fundraise well. And he didn't coach well. I'm sorry. These numbers just don't lie. And I don't want to hear any revisionist history about they never should have hired him in the first place, that he was a product of John Morant. That's not true either. With John Morant, they were 32-4 in conference play, won 76% of their games. But without John Morant, and this is 5 seasons, Matt McMahon won 70% of his conference games. He was qualified to be hired. It didn't work out. I suspect Matt McMahon will get another job somewhere, maybe next year, maybe the year after that, and he'll probably do fine. But this level of job, be it the talent evaluation, the fundraising, the sheer enormity of it, and the level of competition, it's just not there. And so that's kind of where I'm at. And again, I know for you, Jimmy, I'm not breaking any new ground here. We've done bits and pieces of this over the last several weeks. That's my synopsis of it. And if they fire him and they go get Will Wade, great. I don't think that they're going to go get anybody else. Things could change, I guess. Is Will Wade a slam dunk? Of course not. A lot could happen now in the next week or so. But that's where we're at. There's no defense for McMahon other than they just simply cannot afford it or choose not to spend the money.
Yeah, Charlie. I mean, it's 2 years. This was pretty obvious. This guy was not going to be able to get it done here. Nobody, I did not question the hire when it was a resume hire. The only thing I'll say about it, Murray State they won games before him. Now, they haven't won a whole lot since he's been there.
Like a lot of other mid-majors, right?
Excuse me?
Like a lot of other mid-majors, right, that used to.
True. Yeah. And since they hired, the rules have changed.
Yeah.
But even in 2 years and knowing some of some tidbits of information on this is still, even when he got this job, this is not an easy place to win basketball games. It's not, you've got so much of your fan base is invested in other sports besides, football. And even when Will Wade got the job, an assistant said, No, before he took the job, he said, you think you're going to have everything in place because it's an SEC program. It's not on the basketball side. And so, it's a tough place. They made it. They gave him a budget for him to be competitive.
Yeah.
Scott Woodward went out of his way, said, okay, he's not a fundraiser. Every damn coach in college athletics says, I'm fundraising more than ever. Anybody's been coaching for over 8 to 10 years. I'm fundraising more than ever. We've heard it from every coach in every sport. So no matter what your expectation level, your resources are. Murray State had a winning program. He sustained it. And, when he got a guy like John Morant, he raised it. Okay, but you ever heard of a guy named Mick Cronin?
Yeah.
Okay, well, he won. He went 42-10 in conference air. Billy Kennedy?
Mm-hmm.
Did he go to SLU and then also Texas A&M?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. He went 70-24 there. Steve Prom was a hot name for
Two different stints there, right?
Well, he proceeded and succeeded.
Yeah.
McMahon. And McMahon went 93-31. Also, you got to throw in 5 games in a tournament for SEC play for McMahon as well. They went 1-4 in those. Would make his 18-60. The low 20s. I challenge anybody to find a coach who's coached here for 4 years to find a worse conference record than that.
No, actually, Hunt did a piece on LouisianaSports.net where he had the coaches that have been fired here in the last right about 30 years. Curley was the lowest, and it's lower than that. So
he's significantly worse than Curley.
Every coach has been fired in the major sports. He's worse than.
Yeah,
everyone.
I mean, so how can people say don't ride this back again? And then he's the worst. These are the facts. He's the worst conference record in the history of the athletic department, and you got it's an absolute low spot, and has been a low spot for 2 seasons now on the atmosphere in that building.
Yeah,
365 Division I teams, maybe when Nebraska. And Nebraska still hasn't won an NCAA tournament game. Okay, Freddie Hoiberg's doing miracles over there. Still hasn't won one though. But with that popularity of that volleyball program, yes, Nebraska volleyball has outdrawn men's basketball more than once. You want to talk about maybe maybe South Carolina? Their women's program.
Oh, their women outdraw their men by a lot.
Okay, well, you got any others?
You talking about the way the women outdraw the men?
No. Any sport outdraws your men's basketball in their own arena, and they got LSU's got 2, and they do it. Forget the paid attendance or the official attendance. It's like 8 to 10 to 1. Nobody does that. Nobody.
No.
I mean, so how? There's nothing to defend, look, yes, you spent a lot of money in a lot of other places, but damn it, how can you lose it? Like we said last year, Mulkey lost $8 million last year. We all pull for Mulkey. We all think she's great. She hustles, okay? But the whole thing, they have gotten visibility and some promotional value out of their appearances, and whether it's Angel Reese, the national championship, or or Flaugier. No, she brings a lot to the table. But damn it, men's basketball profits, and you can't justify that. I mean, how many does she have as her assistants?
No, there's
you can't. I don't see how you can do one and not justify the other. Where she's making money.
And here's the thing: if you spend a little bit of money, the whole middle of the league, you throw out Arkansas and Kentucky on the top end, and throw out South Carolina and Oklahoma on the bottom end. Everybody, the other 12 teams, spend about the same or in the vicinity of the same. Some of those teams are going to finish in the bottom half of the league by definition. If you spend a little bit of money, you're not guaranteed success. But if you don't spend any, you're guaranteed none.
We got a great deal going on for March Madness over here at Bally's of Baton Rouge, the brand new Bally's Casino. We're in the DraftKings Sportsbook. This will be our home for next Thursday and Friday, the first 2 days of March Madness next week. So it's kind of our trial run. You know, when you host the Final Four, you got to host a regional the year before. Yes, so that's what we're doing this week. So we'll be here all day watching ball games. It's the Bally's for Ballin' for Bally's drawing $25,000. Again, how to enter: guess placing a qualifying $20 parlay or a $40 straight bet in the sportsbook during the promotional period will receive an entry into the Ballin' for Bally's drawing. Selected winners will participate in a Pop-A-Shot basketball challenge for a chance to win free slot or table promotional chips. Guests earn one entry ticket for every $20 parlay wager placed in the sportsbook during the promotional period. One entry ticket for every $40 straight wager. So, man, load it up and make sure you make your bets over here at the window. Max 5 entries per individual sports wager. Entry tickets must be deposited into Ballin' for Bally's promotional drum located in the sports book. Guests may earn multiple entries. Guests must be present to win. Our drawing dates will be Saturday, March 21st, Saturday, March 28th, and Saturday, April 4th. So the free weekends of opening weekend, Sweet 16 weekend, and Final Four day over here at the brand new DraftKings Sportsbook at Bally's Casino. Iowa 10-6, NC State 14-13 over Virginia. And UMass is given a little bit of a tough time. The 6-screen setup, we got every single game on for you over here at the DraftKings Sportsbook at Bally's Casino downtown at the Atrium.
Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch. This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee.
The Pierre Part Store, and now the Thibodeau Store, your local experts in construction supplies. You know they can handle your contractor supplies for all jobs, big and small. The extensive selection of plumbing, electrical, and hardware supplies are endless, and they can even deliver it to your job site. If you need lumber, no problem. Available for pickup and delivery from Pierre Part. Top-notch tools and expert advice, it's local service. From the Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online at thibodeaustore.com.
Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana-Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference. All in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net. Live at lunch from Bally's Casino and Sportsbook on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Watching, if you're with us on YouTube today, audio only as we broadcast from the Sportsbook, so the chat's still up. You can hear us, but no video today. NC State with a 5-point lead over Virginia. Jimmy, what's on the line for them today? They've got a little bit of nothing.
No.
They've got enough slack in the rope.
Yeah.
They
avoided a bad loss yesterday. They're not cruising well, but they got like a mid-30s NET.
Lenore has them as one of the last 4 buys right now, which puts them as an 11 seed, 10, 11 seed.
I would think they're a 10.
10.
Now they can maybe slide up a seed if they get a win or two, the rest of the way. This has been a horrible matchup for them. Off to an 18-13 lead, but here's an N1 situation for Virginia to cut it to 3 with a free throw coming up. But no, man. Look, the bubble is the 0-9 over the last weekend, 0-5 yesterday. I mean, the bubble, it's unbelievable.
Oklahoma has climbed onto the
we
bubble.
laughed. We said it was this is so ridiculous to have LSU in the first 4 out for as long as they did, and have them also considering. I mean, they're on their way to finishing last place in the SEC, and I mean, but that's how bad the bubble has been this year. So they're just NC State is in easily. I think Texas is comfortably in, even with the bad loss yesterday.
Missouri.
I think Oklahoma has. Missouri's still going to be with that mid to high 50s NET. Missouri's still going to be an interesting decision for the selection committee. I think they're in. I think they got some nice wins, but I think it's more of Auburn avoided a damaging loss yesterday. That's squarely on the bubble. When they lose, there's never a team that's lost 16 games that got in, but the mid-majors have never been this bad. The bubble's never been this soft. I mean, they might get in, but Texas, and NC State's definitely in. It's not a great resume. But they're definitely in.
NC State and Texas both in Lenore's last 4 buys. Missouri, Auburn, and SMU, if you're interested, in his last 4 in. Indiana, his first team out right now. They lost yesterday. And Oklahoma has climbed into next 4 out. So they still got some work to do, but the fact that they're even in the conversation at this point is a small miracle.
Don't forget our friends at Legacy Title. Chad Reynolds, Legacy Title for all your real estate closings. 296-0060, a full-service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Fast, friendly, professional services, which you get when you call 296-0060. Ashley Donald, Adrian Galata, Michael Platt, Marion Haynes, Natalie and Bradford Smith. Buying, building, refinancing, nobody choose but you. Choose Chad Reynolds, a Legacy Title, 296-0060.
Live at Bally's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no 2 situations are alike, so Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Baton Rouge, get ready for a fiesta of flavor. Whether you're craving sizzling fajitas, cheesy enchiladas, or the best margaritas in town, Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill have you covered. Bring the family, bring your friends, and bring your appetite. From fresh guacamole to mouth-watering tacos that hit just right, it's not just a dinner, it's a celebration. So why wait? Tonight, make it Las Palmas or make it Rio Cantina, two local favorites serving up authentic Mexican taste right here in Baton Rouge. Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill, where every night's a fiesta.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis Original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. For AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing, and more, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all these needs. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies. Since 1980, their slogan has been service today, every day, so no one ever has to go to sleep hot. They're an authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, for Generac and Cummings generators as well. And now, for all of your electrical and plumbing needs, in Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day. Total Maintenance.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various...
Colucci's not answering.
Okay. He's still trying Kuchi, trying to get
work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padial and Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com.
There's more than one way to listen to ESPN Baton Rouge on the radio at 104.5 and 104.9 and 98.1 HD2. Online at 104.5 ESPN.
That might be a run rule.
Live at lunch from Bally's Casino and Sportsbook on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
And we're also brought to you by the Thibodeau Store, the Pierre Part Store, open in La Rose and La Place. Right now, save big on spring projects with big deals from Greenworks, DeWalt, Roundup, Milwaukee, and Channel Lock Tools. Up to 40% off on some of these items on the website, thethibodeaustore.com. 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux, Highway 70 in Pierre Part. You're getting your property together here in the spring. The big gorilla carts are on special right now. A lot of your seeders and your potting soils, your outdoor power equipment, your spreaders, patio furniture at the website right now. Your outdoor cooking utensils and grills, your griddles, all of your gumbo pots, your crawfish pots available at the Thibodeau Store. Also, if you're going down as weather improves a little bit, You're going down fishing down the coast, stop at the Thibodeau store. Again, in Thibodeau, 900 St. Patrick Highway. Pick up tons of fishing gear available for you there. For you do-it-yourselfers, get some advice from the experts there. They'll save you some time and money. Open until 5:30, and on the website, again, same-day pickup available and delivery on many items. TheThibodeauStore.com will get you to all 4 of those locations. TheThibodeauStore.com.
Get a man his horn. There you go. There he is.
It's time.
Oh.
It's now Colucci time. Dwayne Colucci is back to give his best picks on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Oh, it's officially March Madness now, huh? Colucci, how you doing, baby?
What's going on, boys? How we doing in Baton Rouge? You guys surviving these conference tournaments?
Yeah, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. We're right in the middle. We're at a sports book here in town. This will be our home for first and second day of the real tournament next week. So we're kind of doing our trial run, make sure everything's straight for us over here, and make sure Charlie keeps in line. So we do have proper security. He does act up from time to time, so we did have to pull in proper security. But
who's the security around we got here today?
They have been posted in strategic spots to monitor you, sir. So anyway, but besides that, doing okay. You guys getting ready for the big kind of the this is a good week, but next week is off the charts.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But this is a good week, like you said. This is definitely an introductory period, as we like to call it here in Las Vegas. But, yeah, definitely the crowds have been solid. Conference tournaments, a lot of games have been exciting. And as the weekend progresses, we get a clearer picture of Selection Sunday, which is also important. You have the couple of writing games that'll take place. And definitely we're anticipating a huge crowd at the resort at Summerlin with Caesar Sports his first year, putting up these lines, propositions, extensive betting menus. We're going to have giveaways. It's just going to be crazy in here, definitely.
What type of giveaways you giving, huh?
Well, merchandise stuff. definitely their captain. He's their best player on the roster by far. We're seeing at Caesar Sports and the Resort at Summerlin a -190 on the Devils. I like that. I think the Devils will dominate Calgary, who's been struggling on this East Coast, tour, basically. Another game, New York Rangers playing a lot better now, and Winnipeg has not rectified anything, despite Connor Hellebuck getting a gold medal in the Olympics. So, I definitely think that the New York Rangers have some value. We're sitting at Winnipeg -155 at Caesar Sports and the Resort at Summerlin, but I think definitely the Rangers will compete here. They're playing at a much better level. Igor Shesterkin is back. Zibanejad has carried his hot streak from the Olympics and transpired that into some better play. They relieved themselves of the Panarin contract and that. So, definitely I think the Rangers have played a lot better in the past week and a half. Keep an eye on them. They're not a playoff team, but they can upset a lot of teams on the road to the playoffs. And Winnipeg has just been an utter disappointment after last year, just playing at a very, very low level. And that's quite shocking. Tonight, Vegas Golden Knights, they're another team going backwards, guys. You can see this game, is definitely going in favor of the Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm going to lay off this game. I'm just commenting for all the Vegas fans out there. Vegas really needs to get a lot better. They really need some to solidify the goaltending play from Aiden Hill. They're missing Mark Stone, obviously, who's on LTIR, only -165. You can find some 150s out there as well. So, Vegas coming down. A lot of people are back in Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh is missing Crosby and Malkin.
All right, very good. So they get some picks in hockey tonight. What's the reaction, man, at the sportsbook where you working when Bam out of Bayou was going for 83? It's kind of a build. You getting any? It was kind of a weird night the other night. The Las Vegas Raiders had their trade kind of reneged on them, and then you had the manager of the U.S. team in the World Baseball Classic. He didn't know the rules. Good thing it worked out for him. Aaron Nola, Charlie, how about him last night? He was on fire.
Yeah,
he looked great.
Five shutout innings, and great to see him because he's had such a good career, except for last year. Last year was rough.
He was injured last year, and he had a rough. It was just an outlier. So man, he looked sharp last night. So maybe it's a good sign for things to come. But man, he looked good. So how about Vinny Pasquanini Trina? How about he said, hey, U.S., you happy? You're welcome. You're welcome. So how about the Italian boys, huh, Colucci?
It's amazing. I can't believe it. Pasquatch was going crazy there, as they call him. And, the U.S., they got upset. It happens. This is somewhat of an Olympic format, basically. It's the World Baseball Classic. But, it definitely enhances our betting menu here, at the Resort at Summerlin. We're really enjoying it. And they got lucky. Italy came to play again and destroyed the opponent there. Who was it? Mexico. So now the United States slithers in once again. Definitely going to be tough to beat them twice. So I expect big things from Aaron Judge and the boys. And like you said, Nola was very impressive. A lot going on in the World Baseball Classic and a lot of attention. But now, like we said, everything starts to get tournament orientated. So definitely going to be an exciting weekend and follow-up week next week. So looking forward to it here in Las Vegas.
Canadians want the revenge for the hockey team, right?
Stole your sport.
Oh, God. They're
not. That's not happening.
Should we get ahead of things? Should we get ahead of things and start complaining about extra inning rules ahead of time, just to be, do we think it's unfair when it goes to extras? Because I know that's something they have a problem with in hockey. So should we just get ahead of things in case they?
What is it?
I'm sure it's just normal extra inning rules. Maybe they should put a runner on second base.
You don't know what it is?
No. I'm just saying we should get ahead of things.
Can we find out what it is before we start criticizing it, Max?
I'm just saying we got to get ahead of things. The Canadians are still complaining about it.
That's classic talk radio. We're going to complain about something that we don't know how to fix, and we don't know exactly what the problem is.
Did they complain about it when they advanced? in the same format?
didn't hear a whole lot.
The early round? No, they didn't. So, I mean, it's.
I don't think that's going to come in. I don't think extra innings is going to come into play anyway. So.
Well, that'll be interesting to see, how the Americans respond. Because, look, man, that Dominican lineup is no joke. I mean, that lineup is unbelievable, man. And they took care of Venezuela last night. Ronald Acuna has been lighted up. But Pasquatch, he said it last night, first game ever, he went three home runs.
They do
first game ever for him.
Start with the ghost runner, so we should complain about that. There we go. They're starting with the ghost runner in the 10th.
I like that. You play 9. I'm fine with starting with the ghost runner. So maybe not in the gold medal game, but I mean, your pitching is limited in this one so much. So I don't have a problem with that. So it has brought a little excitement though, man. I like it. I like it. Some people don't care for it. They think it's compromise. I mean, I think it's a lot of fun, man. I love the atmosphere in the stands too, man. Really, really a lot of fun. You see my man dressed up as the Pope last night for Italy? Huh?
No, I missed that.
Yeah.
They have a White Sox cap on or Cubs cap on?
Yet another American that's moved to Italy.
There you go. Follow Dwayne on Twitter at NYBookieDwayne. At NYBookieDwayne. The resort at Summerlin, the new Caesars operated sportsbook. If you're in town too, in Vegas, definitely worth the trip and go by and see my man over at the resort in Summerlin. Kaluch, thank you, my brother. We appreciate it. Good luck to you.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Can't wait till next week. Say hi to everybody in Baton Rouge.
There you go. Yes, indeed. My man, Dwayne Kaluch. Let's get an update real quick on the lines. Kentucky up to a 14-9 lead, 6.5 minutes into that one. Atlantic 10, all George Washington in this 9-8 matchup. GW 41, Fordham 21. Texas Tech out the gate strong, 15-4. Texas Tech over Iowa State, 6 minutes into that one, make it 15-5 in the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City. Virginia has come back. They now lead 28-27, 3:46 to go in the first half there. Ohio State 26, Iowa 25, and undefeated 31-0 Miami, Ohio. 71-66, 6:14 to go in that one.
Live at Bally's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars. Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. First batch comes out at 5 p.m., weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road, near Starring since 1988.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
DraftKings here.
At Town Square Pizza, we take pride in serving Baton Rouge with fresh, delicious, piping hot, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. Whether you're a downtown worker, a family looking for convenience and value, or an out-of-towner staying at one of the nearby hotels, Town Square Pizza is the spot for you. Try a specialty pizza like the Spanish Town Supreme or custom build your own. Family packs, kids' meals, and salads are available as well. It's hip to be square at Town Square Pizza, downtown facing. What else? Town Square.
The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee.
At Town Square Pizza, we take pride in serving Baton Rouge with fresh, delicious, piping hot, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. Whether you're a downtown worker, a family looking for convenience and value, or an out-of-towner staying at one of the nearby hotels, Town Square Pizza is the spot for you. Try a specialty pizza like the Spanish Town Supreme or custom build your own. Family packs, kids' meals, and salads are available as well. It's hip to be square at Town Square Pizza, downtown facing. What else? Town Square.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana, Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit ALS.org to learn more.
So they'd be out if they lose, you think?
ALS.org.
They out if they lose?
104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge. Live at lunch from Bally's Casino and Sportsbook on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Take a quick break from the basketball to get you updated on what's going on at the Players. Max, unfortunately, our consensus pick, Colin Morikawa, goes out, plays one hole, and then has to withdraw with a back injury. So, good news is, if you bet it with DraftKings.
Yeah, very good news. Early exit promo here at the DraftKings Sportsbook here at Bally's. You will get withdrawable cash credits within 24 hours if you bet Colin Morikawa. So here at DraftKings, they are giving you sort of a bad beat bonus, if you will. They do not have to do this. The house rules are once you start your round, if you withdraw, you lose. He did not withdraw before the round, so it would have been a loss. But here at the DraftKings Sportsbook, withdrawable cash credits within 24 hours if you bet on Colin Morikawa. We just got it back from about a 20-minute delay. There was a line of showers that came through. Is going to soften up this golf course, which has some teeth so far, playing about 2 shots over par to this point. The greens are firm already. The rough is up to 5 inches, expected to get to 6 inches later this week. We have a tie for the lead at 5 under between Tommy Fleetwood and Maverick McNeely. They're both through 12 holes at this point. Wes Reynolds' pick of Victor Hovland is in a solo third position at 3 under par. And then a couple other guys we picked. Wes had Ludwig Oberg. He is 2 under. And Matt Fitzpatrick, one of my picks, is also at 2 under
Well,
par.
you can't question the entertainment level of the Miami, Ohio Redhawks. Again, 31-0. 8 of those games have been one possession. That's a record. That's 71-71 with 5 minutes to go. A 3-pointer from the left wing by Miami gives them a 74-71 lead. UMass with an N1. They make the free throw to tie it. Miami right back with the layup, 76-74. They play fast. Miami, Ohio, up to 4:19 to go in the game in the opening round of the MAC championship. The UMass, I think they're in, Charlie, even if a damaging loss here based on them. Maybe different years. Not this year. You can't leave them out this year with the bubble being as soft as it is.
I wouldn't leave them out either. If they do have to go the at-large route, they're 54 in the NET today. Just before we start this game.
And a 3 for UMass. They take the lead now. 3:50 to go. 77-76. UMass on top of Miami. We'll
have an update for that when we come back from the top of the hour. Plus, we'll tell you about some exciting things that are going on here at Bally Sportsbook and Casino for the tournament next week when we will be here broadcasting live. From Bally's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his blue period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name.
And away go troubles down the drain.
Roto-Rooter.
The timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders. Dual purpose, part office, part storage. Climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padial and Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike, so Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
When the grid goes dark, critical systems can't. For over 30 years, Arco Power Systems in Louisiana has helped our hospitals, grocery stores, pumping stations, communication hubs, and industrial facilities stay up and running. Because failure is not an option. When lives, safety, and communities are on the line, reliable backup power isn't a luxury, it's a lifeline. We are Arco Power Systems, and we power the mission. Learn more at arco.com.
Louisiana's big weather can mean big damage to your roof. Our team offers free inspections and guarantees your satisfaction. Call 756-8603 or visit riceandroofing.com.
Just to be on the safe side.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Live at lunch from Bally's Casino and Sportsbook on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
We return here at Bally's, live at lunch. Watching with great interest the end of this UMass Miami of Ohio game, because this is a bid stealer for sure. If UMass can hang on to this 2-point lead, we're under 2 minutes to go now, 81-79. Coming up next week here at Bally's, we're going to give you a chance to win over $25,000 in free play and casino chips. We'll be giving those away over the next several Saturdays. You can get entries into the drawing by having one $20 parlay will get you an entry. One $40 straight bet will get you an entry. And you can have a maximum of 5 entries into the drawings. They'll take place on the 3 Saturdays of the NCAA tournament. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And, Jimmy, they bring in the Papa Shot?
Yeah, doing a Papa Shot. So, yeah,
here. So
they pull you and you go get knock down a free throw. You get 150 free play, a three-pointer, 300, a free throw and a three-pointer, 300, 3 three-pointers, 600. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. They could do the Papa Shot machine right there to the left, and so going to have a lot of fun. They're doing 6 winners from all entries during the drawing times. The drawing times again start at 7:15 on Saturday. So this Saturday, next Saturday, and Final Four Saturday. The 3 Saturday evenings will be the drawing time. 7:15, 9:15. At each drawing time, 3 names will be selected to participate in the Papa Shot Challenge. Over here at the brand new Bally's Casino and Hotel, $25,000 ballin' for Bally's drawing over here for March Madness.
Will Wade and Company at halftime or down a point, 33-32 to Virginia. The Johnnies up 21, St. John's over Providence. That's also at the half. And Iowa State has sort of reeled in Texas Tech after that big start for the Red Raiders. Now a 1-point game, 23-22. We're watching.
Was a 13-point lead for Texas Tech early on. NC State too. They got beat by about 20 in the first game at home against Virginia. Got beat by about 30 in the second game, so 50-plus points in these two. They don't match up very well with them, but much different game. This one has been very, very close with throughout. Miami, Ohio's in trouble. They're down 4. They get a deuce to cut it to 2 and then they foul. So UMass going to the line here with 18.4 seconds to go. UMass, what is their NET? Got to be about 130, 140.
Give me a second.
Eighth in the MAC, maybe 150 or so. I'll say 130.
204.
204.
Yeah.
204. It'd be a damaging loss. So that their NET is currently high 50s.
54.
So you're looking at maybe 60, 62, something like that.
And that's out of the range usually for the
Where's
bubble.
Missouri?
Although 59, that's what I was about to say, 59, and they're on the right side of the bubble, right? Right now.
Missouri?
Yeah.
Missouri's in right now by everybody's account. Yes.
Yeah.
But they have the quality wins that Miami, Ohio doesn't. Both free throws are good for UMass. Who's coaching UMass, huh? He took this SEC team to their only Final Four.
Oh, I know it.
Not
South
Frank
Carolina.
Martin? Frank Martin?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We were surprised when he got fired. He had done a really nice job.
So we're talking about the South Carolina coach. He got a big extension when they with their year. They finished second or third or
3
whatever.
years ago, they were 13-5 in the league.
Was it 2 years ago or 3? Was it 3?
3, because it was his second year at South Carolina.
So he's had 2. This is his second season since, right, on the new deal, not third.
Yeah, this is his 4th season overall.
Yeah. Okay. So Miami gets fouled shooting a 3 here, so they're going to have 3 free throws with 9.9 to go. First free throw is up and in. Second free throw is off the front iron and bounces in to cut it to 2. One more with a chance to 1. So even if they foul and UMass makes the 2 free throws, it'll be a 1-possession game.
That Paris contract is a cautionary tale, right? A guy has 1 good year, and you automatically extend him, to an unreasonable length of time. It is a completely one-sided deal. And the coaches have all convinced the athletic directors that if you don't do this, somebody's going to come poach your coach. And I got news for them. If they come poach your coach, they're going to come poach your coach anyway. If Lamont Paris had finished up that year at South Carolina with another good year and somebody had come along like Louisville, just to pick a much bigger basketball program.
Well, Charlie, it's now brought 5 years ago and forever when you didn't have to pay your players. It was no big deal to overspend for your coach. Okay, but it is forcing some athletic departments to really clean up their act and just operate more wisely. I mean, we all want a business model where you don't have to pay your talent. I mean, we're going to pay the coach, but yes, and we talked about it. Miami, Ohio missed the third free throw, so it's still on 2. They foul UMass. They make both free throws, and now down 4 with just 6 seconds to go. So Miami, Ohio is going to lose here.
Yeah, and I'm not saying you don't give the guy a raise off of a good season, but these automatic long-term extensions, that's where you kind of lose me, just off of 1 year. And we see it happen in every sport.
Full on. But now, what do we see? Not this past year, but the year before. 16 out of 16 SEC football coaches, everybody came back.
Right.
So it's kind of paused. I mean, we're hearing about it right now. I mean, who could? Man, you better go tell that to somebody. Yeah, you can't afford to fire this coach. Can't afford to fire the worst coach in the history of athletic department, and after 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Paris would have been fired in a normal year, don't you think?
He had that. You saying that was 3 seasons ago or 2 seasons ago?
It was his second season.
So it was
counting this season.
23-24?
Yes.
Okay, that's 2 seasons. Yeah, 2 seasons ago.
2 seasons. Okay,
Yeah,
this is the third season.
No, this is second since.
Second since. He's been there 4 years. This was his 4th year.
Right. But 2 seasons ago, 23-24, he got it. Is that? I don't know.
They were 13-5.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that didn't. That's a hard place to win. Like we just said, we just talked about the guy who brought them to their one and only Final Four.
The other 3 seasons in SEC play, he has won 4, 2, and 4 games. That year, he won 13, and they finished second in the league. So at least he's got that one season that pops.
Right. No, did they overspend it? But I don't know if it would be. It makes it an easy call with his deal and with the athletic departments are not as quick on the trigger to pay coaches not to coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying.
This is not the case here.
With the why the long extensions off of one good. Give him a raise. That's fine. Why would you? We talked about this so many times. Why would Oklahoma give Brent Venables an extension? I mean, after the second year.
Everybody said that. I don't recall you saying that about this guy when he had his good year. Yeah, I mean, when the Venables thing, they're like, whoa. Everybody's like, wait, why? After the Paris deal, you had a chance. You didn't say it. I didn't say it either.
I didn't.
Okay,
I'll be honest with you.
I mean, it's easy to say.
I wasn't paying attention to it, but.
Well, I mean, we've got to be fair. I mean, it's yes, there's a bunch of bad contracts out there, and this is one of them.
Yeah.
I get it. They overreacted. I get it. But we could have said the comment then. We didn't, so you got to be. You got to play.
We didn't.
The Venables contract is not that case. Everybody's like, why? People that follow college football casually, like, why? And so, I mean, he was on the hot seat coming in. There, who gives a big time extension and raise? So I think it was the last lick, wasn't it? The AD that was on his way out,
yeah.
Castiglione.
Yeah, I think you're going to see these coaches that have big years, football or basketball, rewarded with raises. I think the extensions are going to be harder to come by. I think you'll say, hey, listen, you did a good job this year. You deserve more money next year. you don't necessarily deserve more money for 5 more years. We got to see. I'm not talking about the Bill Selfs of the world. I'm talking about guys who popped one good year. And Lamont Paris had a losing record in conference play at Chattanooga before he got to South Carolina. Now, he was on the ascension. They were increasing their number of wins, and he had a terrible first year because I'm assuming of what he inherited. But the fact of the matter remains, he had a losing conference record at Chattanooga when they hired him, had a losing first year at South Carolina, then has 1 year, and they decided to extend him. No, I wasn't paying attention to it, and I didn't say anything at the time. But I would have said, hey, you know what? The guy deserves a raise. Does he deserve an extension? Yeah. And I think that's what you're going to see across the landscape now. What did Verge say? Hey, we got to take a look at the length of these contracts. I think the dollar amount per year, they're a lot more palatable towards that.
Well, Kiffin's doesn't apply to that. He doesn't fall into that category.
No, he's a special case because he was a candidate that had extensive interest from 2 other schools, one that he worked at and one that they wanted him to work at. You were in a true bidding war for Lane Kiffin. Without, whether it was the salary or the player budget or everything, you were in a true bidding war for Lane Kiffin. In my opinion, those are pretty rare. A bidding war of that magnitude. Did Texas and Alabama get in a bidding war for Nick Saban when he flirted with them?
Yeah, well, kind of. I mean, Mac Brown got in the middle of it.
But he had an offer from Texas and turned it down, right? Did he go back to Alabama and hold their feet to them?
No, he did not.
Well, there was a rumor of an offer.
Because the coach waited till he got Alabama redid. It prompted Alabama to redo his deal, and once he redid his deal, then Mac Brown stepped down, and he didn't want Saban to follow him in Austin. So he was still in place. Everybody was expecting him to retire. He didn't until Nick Saban got his new deal.
If Saban had wanted to, he could have held the biggest auction in the history of college football. He didn't do that. He could have said, whatever.
He still could have told Alabama. I mean, they didn't put any penalties, and exit penalties.
No.
I mean,
he could have held their feet to the fire for a lot more.
He could have still taken it, but yeah, I mean, it would have. Why go through all that?
So every now and then you do get a bidding war where the coach has a legitimate decision to make of 2 comparable programs. Would you say A&M and Florida State got in a bidding war for Jimbo Fisher? Did he leave for a lot more money that Florida State couldn't match or chose not to match? Remember, at the time, he was a pretty hot commodity.
If you want to, they were not going to get Brian Kelly out of Notre Dame for peanuts. But
Lincoln Riley,
but this is the Lamont Paris is a little bit different. That's within, your he's not going anywhere in all likelihood. So it wasn't like Kentucky was looking to scoop him up.
And if
after
he is,
1 year,
your extension is not going to keep him from doing that. That's kind of what I was doing with the Louisville example.
We've seen history has told us you had a mid-major, you win 1 game in March Madness, you land a high major job.
Remember the Stan Heath, who took Kent, I think it was Kent State.
Kent. It was Kent at the time.
And he got to the Elite Eight.
Yeah, but he won 3.
Yeah, he won 3.
But it was his first year. He inherited a great team. That was his first year coaching.
Yeah, and he went to Arkansas and was a disaster. But that year they made it all the way to the Elite
Eight.
Inherited.
Yeah.
Does the tournament committee weigh TV ratings at all into their decision?
I doubt it.
No, not really.
Their TV contracts
I hate to say
regardless.
it. I hate to say it. I mean, now, if you got a Carolina, or a Miami, Ohio, and they have, it's going to go to Carolina.
If they did, don't you want Auburn versus Miami, Ohio, and Dayton? Wouldn't that be a great game to watch for the first 4?
I'd like to watch that game. That would intrigue me a lot.
Now, what you're saying is they have been known to pop some of those that have a little juice, to have a little, oh, no, look who's playing. And if they
I would
both
be
win,
fascinated by that
coaches
matchup.
that have gone into it a little bit,
It's a weak bubble. I mean, why not?
No,
Auburn may be playing for a bid today.
They've definitely juiced some of those. I remember when they made Kentucky and Louisville play after they hadn't played for 40 years, and they matched them up back in the 80s. They matched LSU and Indiana up in the second round of Shaquille's last year because they wanted to see Dale and Bobby Knight on the same thing. Now, so it's juicing it, but in the first round, the tournament's kind of the star, So you just
but this is your first four.
How many people want to watch Dayton? How many people want to watch that?
Oh,
anyway?
it is secondary.
So if you match them up, that's one to watch.
No argument. Miami, Ohio is being fun to watch. Period. There was, it's been 6 days, but there was a little exhale spot after that. That was a big deal to lose 14 straight years to Ohio. To come, that game was unbelievable. That took something out of them. I mean, you can't have that big of an emotional game and not have a little less. Now, were they close? Could they have won? They blew a 10-point lead with about 6-7 minutes to go. But they've been in so many of these. Finally, you play with fire long enough, you're going to get grabbed at some point. And they finally, got grabbed today. I mean, this is UMass had played them I think they went overtime early in the season at Miami, Ohio. Don't forget our friends at Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Your homeowners association requires wood windows like mine. Don't make the mistake and try and go with somebody else. You got to get those wood windows from Relief Windows. They look great, they are functional, and they last. They're built with RLS wood. These gel-wind wood frame windows come with a 20-year general warranty and a lifetime limited warranty against rot and termites. Again, they look good, they're functional, and they last. So really, no reason to go anywhere else. Well, not only do we do windows at Relief Windows, but we do doors, siding, shutters, and shades. You can check out all of our inventory online at reliefwindows.com. Open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Give them a call, 288-8138, Relief Windows.
Live at Bally's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Baton Rouge, get ready for a fiesta of flavor. Whether you're craving sizzling fajitas, cheesy enchiladas, or the best margaritas in town, Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill have you covered. Bring the family, bring your friends, and bring your appetite. From fresh guacamole to mouth-watering tacos that hit just right, it's not just a dinner, it's a celebration. So why wait? Tonight, make it Las Palmas or make it Rio Cantina, two local favorites serving up authentic Mexican taste right here in Baton Rouge. Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill, where every night's a fiesta.
The Pierrepont Store, and now the Thibodeau Store, your local experts in construction supplies. They can handle your contractor supplies for all jobs, big and small. The extensive selection of plumbing, electrical, and hardware supplies are endless, and they can even deliver it to your job site. If you need lumber, no problem. Available for pickup and delivery from Pierrepont. Top-notch tools and expert advice, it's local service. From the Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online at thibodeaustore.com.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee's the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite. Love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffee's and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. If you're tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking, you deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for your businesses and families because they go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business and good for life. Stop by any South Louisiana, Houston, or Natchez area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars. Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Live at lunch from Bally's Casino and Sportsbook on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
4-point lead for Virginia over NC State, 15:30 to go in regulation there. And Iowa State and Texas Tech go to the half. Iowa State with a 3-point lead, 36-33. Lenardi doing updates on bracketology in real time. What does Miami of Ohio's loss do to his projections?
Well, Charlie, he has Miami, Ohio still in the field as an at-large and avoiding the bubble entirely, not even in the last 4 byes, according to him. So not sure what seed that would be, 9 or 10, somewhere in there, but I thought he would drop them on the bubble. It doesn't look like he has. That does, however, drop Auburn out of the tournament as of now in his projections because Akron or whoever wins the MAC will be a bid stealer. So as of now, he's got Texas A&M in the last 4 byes. So avoiding Dayton, but Missouri and Texas both getting trips to Dayton in the last 4 in. And then Auburn and Oklahoma are among 4 teams in the first 4 out. So Auburn the first team out, Oklahoma the 4th team out as of now.
Can't see them being a 9, 10 maybe. And, again, back to your first 4, that 11 seed's a possibility as well. But I would be shocked if they're out.
This is our first bid stealer, our first true bid stealer?
That I know of, yes.
Yeah, Navy wasn't getting in that large. Navy, 5 senior starters. And if you saw it, Boston did the dirty work for Lehigh. Lehigh rolled last night because they were able to host. When Navy got upset, they were the 2-3 winner, so they hosted number 4 seed Boston in that one and won comfortably by about 15 last night.
Auburn going here in an hour and a half.
They can use a win.
They are a 5.5-point dog right now to Tennessee.
I like Tennessee. I still think they're any good.
We talked about this yesterday, Jimmy, with Wes Reynolds and also with Randy McKay about have to win it versus don't have to win it and how that's already baked into the line.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's the same thing with, at the end of the NFL season, teams that are it's an old saying, must win. Teams that must win mustn't be that good. And so they, those bubble teams like Auburn is like that. Look, they were down 3 at half to Mississippi State. I think they were down as much as 8 or 9 in the first half. They whittled it down to 3, and then they rolled them in the second half. State loses ends their frustrating season. But I've always gone against those teams that, quote unquote, gotta win, must win. So I'll be going against Auburn today.
That game is at 2 o'clock on the SEC Network. They are under a minute to go to the break, and Kentucky has opened up a 12-point lead on Mizzou right now. With
Kentucky looks good. Missouri could be. I think they're in, but I mean they could be set up for a disappointment as well.
That's kind of what I was asking with the bid stealers. We've only had one. Got to be due some more, right? I mean, between now and Sunday. I know these are some of the bigger tournaments, but
it might take that from one of these smaller tournaments, but you got to beat Godzilla along the way. I mean, all 5 high major conferences got a Goliath in there. UConn, Florida, Duke, Arizona, and Michigan, and I think I actually made some of those plays. We looked on the other brackets, and I picked minus the Big East because St. John's is so short. They're playing in Madison Square Garden. They're so short. I took a little bit on Arkansas and Alabama, to win on the other side of the bracket. I took a little bit on Virginia and Miami on the other side of the bracket from Duke. I took Michigan State, on the other side of the bracket from Michigan. I know, what is it? Mr. Dirty, fears for them, but still, Ohio State. Where are they on here, Max? Because they're kind of gaining a little. Are they like in the 70s with their NET? 30. Okay, so they're in already in bracketology.
Mm-hmm.
They're a team that's catching. They're up 16 over Iowa right now.
9 seed according to Lenardi.
Okay,
Yep.
okay, they're in. 51-35 right now. Virginia-NC State game. This has been a very good game as well. 12 and a half minutes to go. Virginia with the ball in a 5-point lead, 50-45, and there they go, backdooring NC State. It's their biggest lead of the game at 7 at 52-45. Kentucky, they're going to have 38-29. Interesting game out in Las Vegas. We'll get Matt to weigh in as well. UNLV is hot now. They won 7 of 10. They've covered 7 of 10. One of those wins was by 35 against Utah State, who they're 7.5-point dogs with at home at Thomas and Mack. They played them earlier in the year in Logan. They beat them by 10 in Logan as well. Won by combined 40 points, catching 7.5 at home, and they're playing their best ball. Their only one of their few losses was at San Diego State. They lost by 3, like 89-86. So interesting line in that one as well. That's a wide open tournament in Las Vegas in Mountain West Conference as well. And they're going to get way less than they usually. It's not too long ago. They got 6 teams. It's going to be 1 or 2.
Yeah, they got New Mexico is on the bubble. That's one of the teams. They could work their way in.
They've
but
had some bad losses lately. Yeah, some real damaging losses.
We're brought to you by Louisiana Health and Injury Centers, helping you deal with pain. If you've got back pain, you've got muscle soreness, you've got neck pain, you've got things that are keeping you from moving around quite as well as you'd like, or you've got those things that are keeping you from getting a good night's sleep. Let Dr. Michael Goff and his staff get you adjusted. They'll get you into a program that'll target those problem areas and get you to feeling better, whether it be just an exercise and stretching program that'll loosen some things up, or a dry needle or electric nerve stimulation, cryo, or ultrasound therapy. We've got a lot of techniques they can use to get you to feeling better. Airline Highway, Plank Road, Jefferson Highway, near Drusilla. Dr. Michael Goff and Louisiana Health and Injury Centers. Live at Bally's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Doe's Eat Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze. For the perfect blend of sweet and spicy, you can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Doe's Eat Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. For AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing, and more, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all these needs. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies. Since 1980, their slogan has been service today, every day, so no one ever has to go to sleep hot. an authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, for Generac and Cummings generators as well. And now, for all of your electrical and plumbing needs, in Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day. Total maintenance.
Get Moss Max and less tax during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, 4 cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salad, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt.
Baton Rouge, get ready for a fiesta of flavor. Whether you're craving sizzling fajitas, cheesy enchiladas, or the best margaritas in town, Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill have you covered. Bring the family, bring your friends, and bring your appetite. From fresh guacamole to mouth-watering tacos that hit just right, it's not just a dinner, it's a celebration. So why wait? Tonight, make it Las Palmas or make it Rio Cantina, two local favorites serving up authentic Mexican taste right here in Baton Rouge. Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill, where every night's a fiesta.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana, Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Click through the static and listen to 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge in high definition. Simply tune to 98.1 and select HD2. Live at lunch from Bally's Casino and Sportsbook on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All right, let's go out to Las Vegas and hook it up with Matt Humans as we do each and every week at this time. Matt, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, pretty good. Watching Iowa, Ohio State. I got the Buckeyes, so hopefully they can close that out. But this is one of the best college basketball days of the year, where you have so many good matchups, so many games.
You know, I got some guys that follow me, and we that around town, and some guys that we got like basically if you get a 5-point minimum of 5-point middle, do 25 to 35%, 40% of your original bets. This was when the first time before we had mobile, we couldn't do this, and I was with you guys, and he goes, "Here's Mr. Middle. He's trying to middle everything on the damn board." So, but I think in these conference tournaments, it started because these teams playing they're going home. You see a little extra effort. I think you see a little less quit in them in coming back and trying to make some of these games respectable.
Well, you do, because like I said, a lot of the underdogs are dangerous this week because these dogs are desperate. The teams that accomplished less in the regular season have a lot more to play for on most of the games this week, right? So I think it's kind of a complex situation to handicap a lot of times when you talk about the conference tournaments. but you can find some of the best betting opportunities out there. I mean, I'll give you an example of a couple of games last night. These are opportunities, betting opportunities you're not going to find next week in the NCAA tournament because those lines are going to be sharp. You're going to have some soft lines out there this week. Last night, UC Santa Barbara was a 5-point favorite against UC Davis in the Big West tournament in Vegas. And Davis coach Jim Less owns the Santa Barbara coach. Swept them this year. There's no reason Santa Barbara should have been a 5-point favorite in that game. In fact, Davis probably should have been the favorite. Davis won the game by 10. How about Indiana Northwestern in the Big Ten tournament? Northwestern had defeated Indiana 6 straight times. Chris Collins is one of the best in the business. He doesn't get the credit from a lot of people because Northwestern doesn't win NCAA tournament games. But how about Indiana being bet from a 4.5-point favorite to 6.5, and Northwestern dominating the game in the second half, winning by double digits. And a lot of people are betting Indiana just because the Hoosiers, they're on the bubble. They have to win. That's there's a bunch more examples from yesterday, but I think if you're really into college hoops and you're watching games, you know what's going on. You're going to find some.
All right, what else is on your? What else are you going to bet on today's card?
So on today's card, let's see, I've got Ole Miss +6 against Texas, and that's Chris Beard
against Georgia. You mean?
Coach.
Georgia.
Ole Miss +6 against Georgia.
Yeah.
Chris Beard beat Texas last night. I took Beard in this matchup against Georgia. Let's see. Ole Miss won the game 97-95 in overtime at Georgia on January 14th. And Ole Miss in its last 5, 2-3. 2 losses in overtime and a 3-point loss in there with a win at Auburn. This team's playing a lot better. Obviously, the Rebels had that ugly stretch in the middle of the SEC season where they were terrible. But they're playing a lot better now. And they beat Texas yesterday by 10, despite shooting 1 for 10 from 3 and being outscored by 6 points at the free throw line. So I like that. I did take Oklahoma. Now, the 3.5's not out there anymore, but I still take 2.5. Oklahoma against Texas A&M. Sooners are 7-2 in their last 9. They won 5 in a row. They beat Texas, Missouri, and Auburn in that stretch. Last night in Oklahoma's win, Sooners shot 60% from the field, made 11 threes. Nigel Pack had 24 points, made 5 threes. Porter Moser's got that thing turned around. So a couple of dogs in the SEC tournament with Ole Miss, Oklahoma. Big Ten, I played Ohio State, like I said. I played Northwestern +12 against Purdue today. I'm coming back with the Purple Cats. I don't know if you guys heard this trend. Do you guys know the Matt Painter trend in the Big Ten tournament?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Max was talking about it earlier.
1 in 15?
What is it, Max?
I think
you said 1 in 15?
1 in 14 against the spread, is that right?
1 in 14 ATS?
I got them 1 in 15
Okay.
ATS in the last 16 Big Ten tournament games. Either way, 14 or 15, it's bad.
Yeah.
And Purdue was lucky to win in Evanston a week ago as a big favorite. Had to come from behind to pull that game out by 4. So I did take 12 with Northwest. So I took 18 with Florida State against Duke. Let's see. And I'm on UC Davis again tonight against Cal State Fullerton. That's what I've got so far. I'm looking at some more games in the Mountain West. You know what's interesting in the Mountain West is, by the way, UC Davis is a 2.5-point dog to Fullerton tonight in the Big West. UNLV now up to, at some spots, FanDuel, DraftKings, 8.5-point underdog to Utah State. This game's coming up in about an hour and a half. And you probably know Rebels swept Utah State's #1 seed in the Mountain West this season. Not only swept them, beat them by 27 points in Vegas about 10 days ago. We beat them by 27 points on the same floor 10 days ago, now an 8.5-point underdog again. That number is probably high for a reason. I don't think Utah State's going to lose 3 times to UNLV. There's no way I could lay the 8.5. I'd have to take it or pass, and I have not taken it yet. So that's a really interesting
situation. Funny, I was just talking about that when he also beat them in Logan by 10. You know, it was 73-73 tight with about 3:40 to go, but they run away with it at the end. And I watched that game Utah State. And it's very early, like 9-2, 9-4 Utah State. And it was a beat down. They were bigger, stronger. They're playing really, really good basketball right now. 7-3 straight up and 7-3 against the spread. And one of their losses was at San Diego State, 89-86. That's nothing to be. Pastor's got to play good, man. Now, they almost tricked it away yesterday. Had the big lead and then gave it up and came back and beat Wyoming. But, yeah, the Mountain West Conference, we're talking about them, Matt. We're talking about where we still think Miami, Ohio is getting in after they lose to UMass today. We're talking about teams like Missouri, teams like Auburn. But, I mean, one or two from the Mountain West Conference? This is a league that's had 6, previously. It's just all the bubble teams this week, last weekend, it's just losing left and right. It's just a really, really soft bubble.
Yeah, it's. I know a lot of people have been saying this, and it sounds like recency bias, but I think it is the worst bubble I've ever seen. I can't remember this. The last 4 teams that actually get in this tournament are going to be lucky as hell to get in.
Yeah.
I mean, we're putting some bad teams in there to fill out the field of 68. Teams have lost 14 of 15 games and haven't won much in the last 2 months. I mean, this is the best argument you can get against expanding the NCAA tournament from field of 68. But at the same time, money always wins that argument no matter what it is. And the field's going to expand no matter what eventually. I want to ask you guys, since Miami lost this morning, I was watching that game and I fell asleep, woke up, and at the very end I said, man, I think Miami's still in the tournament.
Yeah.
I would like to see Miami in the first 4 in Dayton, maybe against one of these power conference teams that have lost 14 or 15 games. What do you guys think? Is Miami still in?
Max is already promoting it first 4. He's got to play in Auburn.
I would love that.
So,
Okay. I like that. I like that idea quite a bit. I think that'd be great. We can have Bruce Pearl in studio, too.
There are definitely, and listen, the non-conference schedule is embarrassing, okay? There's no question about that. The MAC is not that strong. The NET for UMass is 200 that they just lost to. I get all that, but maybe previous years, not this year. Miami owes in. They're in. It's just so weak. And it's just where we are, man. And I think there are a lot of mid-May. Just look at the Big East. Teams that are just really good programs and aren't any good, this year. Right. And, we were talking to our Omaha folks this year, and they actually had a decent budget, but they missed on a couple of guys. McDermott's probably going to have his last year. He's already brought his coach in waiting in there last year, and it's probably going to be his last year coming up next year. But anyway, it's where they are. And the people were trying, coaches were like, well, I'm trying to get in the SEC or the Big Ten because that's where all the money is. Big East, good programs. Marquette, Xavier, Butler. Providence. These teams are great. They're bad, just bad teams. So I think Miami, Ohio is definitely getting in, but I can listen to you the criticism of their schedule because it's really, really bad. But they went undefeated, and I think we're situational. It's 6 days ago, but it's obviously left not only a little bit on the court in that game against Ohio, but all of those close games, man. So they not having enough against the number 8 seed UMass today. Charlie, you got them in?
Yeah, I got them in. And I love the Auburn thing because in the non-conference, Auburn scheduled everybody they could, but beat almost none of them. Miami of Ohio scheduled nobody, but beat them all. I think it's a wonderful contrast in styles.
There's no doubt about it. In
regards to non-conference schedule,
Papa Pearl ain't getting a Father's Day gift. He's getting a tie at best. For leaving his son with that schedule.
I think Humans is giving him too much. Putting him in the studio. We're going to put him on the play-by-play. Put him on the color for that game. Let's see what he really thinks.
They could use a win. I love Oklahoma too. They're hot. And look, Matt, you talk about an interesting bubble team now all of a sudden. They had 4 horrible losses during the course of the SEC schedule. Blown double-digit leads in the second half at home against Alabama and Texas. A blown lead with under 30 seconds to go at home against Arkansas. And then the double buzzer beater at the end of regulation and overtime in Columbia, Missouri. I mean, and their ball movement is better. I mean, they fell behind 15-16 and blew the doors. I know South Carolina's bad, but they're playing better. I think it's a little bit of a stretch, Matt, on saying Ole Miss is playing better right now. They did play better. That game they won in Athens, I was jumping on them because I thought I misevaluated them. I had them much better this year, and I had them, and I lost on them a few times. They did come into this tournament losing 10 of 11, and their one win was only at Auburn, So I had them yesterday. I'll be on them tonight, but yeah, some of these teams can kind of get right a little bit better. They looked much better yesterday.
I like Chris Beard too, and when you have quick turnarounds in tournaments, you want to bet on the best coaches. Typically, they're the best to get their team prepared to play. Ole Miss in this. You talked about this recent 5-game stretch. They beat Auburn last night. They got a win too, but 2 of those losses were in overtime. The other lost by 3 points. I would say they went through that ugly stretch in the middle of SEC where they were terrible, and I lost on Ole Miss a couple of times in that stretch too, and I gave up on that team.
Guess who they lost to at home, too, in overtime? Our beloved Bengal Tigers down here, okay? And they are garbage, okay? We did the research. Matt McMahon has the worst conference record of any sport that we can find. So,
You think he could come up with the one coach that was worse than the SEC? Yeah, the 4 years, Matt.
A 4-year span?
A 4-year
you're
span
talking about basketball.
In basketball.
Okay.
In a 4-year span since the league expanded, there's one coach that had a worse record than he in 4 years. And it's not an obscure name.
Jerry Stackhouse?
No, Stackhouse had the one really good year, reasonable
He had one
year.
good year, but he had a couple of horrendous years. Okay. And who would have been?
Tom Crean at Georgia. Was
really? It was
2 games worse than what McMahon has done here. But that's it. That's the list.
Tom Crean had I remember watching that Tom Crean team with Anthony Edwards in the Maui Invitational, and that team's not good enough to make the tournament.
And
he had the number 1 pick in the draft.
And we've been referencing you a lot as well when they start singing the blues. Well, he had injuries. Jerry Stackhouse had an injury. Darius Garland. Yeah. Okay, that's an injury.
Played 4 games and he was out.
You told us pump the brakes on getting excited about D-Dan Thomas. He's okay. And he was having a night. But I think I would have a good assist-to-turnover ratio with LSU's non-conference schedule. It's right there with Miami, Ohio's. So, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you see, if you see the way UNLV's playing, they don't miss D-Dan Thomas. Actually, UNLV's got a better lead guard, and Dre gets Lawhorn, the transfer from Illinois. In the last 11 games going into yesterday, he had averaged 28 points. He was the top scorer in the nation.
Wow.
I don't know. It's interesting. Some of these, I know we're about out of time, but we were talking about, this college basketball crown tournament that's going to be in Vegas in April.
Yeah.
In the NIT. A lot of these teams are not going to be – they're going to go into the postseason, these smaller tournaments, without their best players because these guys are going to take money and they'll be gone, right? This UNLV team's going to lose its top 2 players again. They're going to be paid big money to go elsewhere as soon as the season's over. That's going to be happening in a lot of places too.
Basketball bowl games.
Yeah, the basketball version of the Mobile Bowl or the Independence Bowl. Yeah, yeah, that's what you get. Matt, good luck to you, minus your Purdue Boilermakers. We're fading them as well. So 6-7 since they started 17-1. Thank you, buddy. We'll talk to you next week.
You bet. Thanks.
All right, Matt Humans checking in with us on
we're here
from
at
Beeson.
Yeah, we're here at Bally's. Starting next week, you'll be able to get in on over $25,000 worth of free play that'll be given away during the tournament. $20 parlay will get you an entry. $40 straight bet will get you an entry. You can have up to 5 entries in your drawings, and they'll be drawing the next 3 Saturdays, of the NCAA tournament here at Bally Sportsbook. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in.
All right. Yeah, whenever you're ready.
It's rolling.
Join us for the Friday edition of Live at Lunch from Rufino's on Highland Road. We're getting you ready for the rest of the conference basketball tournament weekend, and LSU is headed to Vanderbilt for college baseball SEC opener. Let me start this over. Join us for the Friday edition of Live at Lunch from Rufino's on Highland Road. We're getting our way through conference tournament basketball, and LSU starts SEC play in Nashville against Vanderbilt. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Friday from Rufino's on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. And reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. First batch comes out at 5 p.m., weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring since 1988.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his blue period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name.
And away go troubles down the drain.
Roto-Rooter.
The timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710. 1950 Phil's Oyster Bar started on Government Street. Then Gus Piazza took over in the 70s, and now his son Anthony is taking it to another level at the current location in South Downs. It's always been a Baton Rouge landmark. Seafood, oysters, po' boys, burgers, and more, all served up in an atmosphere full of sports nostalgia and tons of TVs to catch all the games. Seafood gumbo, crawfish cheesecake, or my favorite, the meatball quesadilla to start. Check out dinner and bar specials at philsoysterbar.com. You know we bleed purple and gold at Phil's Oyster Bar in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana, Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge. Live at lunch from Bally's Casino and Sportsbook on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Give you our final updates. Iowa State leads Texas Tech by 14 with 12 minutes to go. Texas Tech had led that by 12 in the first half. Virginia leads NC State 68-61 with 4.5 minutes to go. St. John's pulling away from Providence 82-59. Now 4 minutes to go there. Ohio State 66-59 over Iowa. Headed to the 4-minute mark in regulation. Kentucky has opened up 14 on Missouri. 47-33, 4 minutes into the second half.
Here at the DraftKings Sportsbook at Bally's downtown, it's our $25,000 Ballin' for Bally's drawing. Again, we have the Papa Shot in here. Bally's Baton Rouge downtown here again for every $20 parlay wager or a $40 straight wager. You get a ticket for every time you put one of those in. A max 5 entries per individual sports wager. So, yes, indeed. Come on, load up. And the drawings will be this Saturday, next Saturday, and the following Saturday, March 21st, March 28th, and April 4th, starting at 7:15 p.m. And then our grand finale will be for the national championship game for the big prizes. So giving away free play, giving away promotional chips over here. So really good stuff. And you get more depending on what kind of shot you make. So it is our Bally's $25,000 Ballin' for Bally's drawing. Again, make sure if you make those bets at the counter, make sure that you show them so you can get your entry tickets to put in the big hopper.
Maverick McNeely, 5 under par through 16, leads at the Players, 1 shot over Russell Henley. Tomorrow we're at Rufino's, thanks to our friends here at Bally's. Have a great day, everybody, and stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.